Hey, so I've been thinking of opening up our marriage. Oh my God, you want me to sleep with other men? See, I was kind of hoping that I would do all the sleeping around and you would just kind of watch. Y'all can never make me hate Reddit, ever. Me and this woman right here were Reddit forever because I just love how much variety there is on there. I mean, first of all, it is the last reliable place online that you can go to search things. If you need an actual answer to something that you're going through, you just type that shit in on Google, add Reddit to the end, and you will find some random dude 12 years ago who went through exactly what you're going through right now. It is the perfect archive of self-help. It's what Quora frankly wishes it was, and maybe even what Google used to be. And that I think is so meaningful to the ecosystem of the internet, you know what I mean? You can also go on there and sometimes find like white supremacy, eugenic science, and all sorts of like
fun characters.
But at the end of the day, was it about the white supremacists or the friends that you made along the way? Some of my favorite content on the internet ever is the AI voice reading insane Reddit stories to you while you watch terrible Minecraft gameplay or some terrible Subway Surfer gameplay. And while they do range in all kinds of topics, there is one that stands king above all kings. That is the absolute best kind of content that random AI voice reading Reddit posts will read to you. And that is open marriage Reddit. And there's always a super consistent narrative to these stories. Usually the ones that I see on my timeline usually start off with one partner in a relationship begging to open it up. And the other isn't super duper keen on it, but eventually they warm up to the idea. And I'm not sure if warm up is like the right idea. Warm up kind of gives this feeling of like comfort and happiness, like a sauna or like the summertime. I think they more likely give up into the idea. You know what I mean? Sometimes it seems like they're more so just like so defeated by the conversation that they're just kind of like, yeah, sure. However, once the relationship is open, it feels like the partner who initiated it is never quite as happy with the arrangement as I guess they thought they would be. Because they all come to this crazy realization of like, oh, my wife is gonna be sleeping with other men? Yes, that's the open part of the open relationship. Hope that helps. And then shortly after that, they pretty quickly wanna shut it down. So I think I found someone else that I really wanna talk to. Is that so horrible? I wanna close this relationship up. Frankly, I wanna close this entire house up, all right? You're not leaving this house anymore. And I'll be honest, I feel like a majority of the ones that I've seen are usually husbands asking their wives to open up the relationship and the wife being not so into it. And that's definitely not the only one I've seen, but it is the majority.
Had a crush on a coworker. Convinced my wife to open our marriage. My coworker ended up not being interested, but my wife has more dates and men than she knows what to do with.
So it's usually the wife that ends up getting just inundated with more than she knows what to do with. She's just swimming in a sea of D. And in one of the stories that I saw, it seems like the catalyst for husband asking to open up the marriage was him thinking that a coworker was like super into him. And something about that feels like I'm really sorry to break it to you, sir, but your rotted brain might be telling you stories that aren't real. This is an intern her boss, all right? This is the real world. How do I say this? Your 25-year-old coworker who just started and always smiles with you and is super friendly
isn't interested
in dating a middle-aged man with a bare belly and 2 kids. She's nice to you in the dad kind of way, not the I want to you kind of way. She's around you for 8 hours every single day. She's friendly with you because she has to be. Hope that helps. Play everything I just said in the background of your morning meditation before you go nuking your marriage and probably nuking your job too, because homegirl might be taking that shit straight to HR. Ask yourself some logical and hard questions. Why would a really hot 20-year-old at my office be interested in me? And I'm saying that with love. I'm trying to save you here. I always can't help but wonder like why so many of these dudes seem to mistake just friendliness for like sexual advances. Are you guys only friendly to people that you want to sleep with? Someone speaking to you every day at the office that you both work at. What is workplace flirting? And I'm not saying this to say that people that are middle-aged with a beer belly and 2 kids are inherently undesirable or unlovable. We stan that demographic.
Let's go.
I'm just saying you may be undesirable to people that are like half your age and don't have children. That's it. You're just at a very different phase in your life, you know? However, I think it's their confidence in that coworker or other person being super into them that seems to be the driving force behind behind wanting to open the relationship. I don't get the impression all of these people necessarily even want to sleep around with tons of other people. It kind of seems like they really just want to sleep with that one person. And I guess since they're assuming that their partner does not have a one person that they're interested in, that they just won't end up sleeping with anybody at all. I guess they just don't really anticipate that their partner might like get on the apps or something, which I just feel like, what was your game plan? I think especially for the couples that I'm seeing on Reddit the most, we just have to do the math. Let's just do the basic math here. Most dating apps or most dating sites in general are primarily men. So even if you and your wife go on the apps, just by the numbers, her options are just way higher. The literal pond that she has to fish from is just full of a lot more fish, king.
My husband asked me for an open marriage because he wasn't attracted to me anymore. Now he's livid and wants to close our marriage after I found someone better than him.
Another thing I feel like they forget is that just because you are not attracted to your wife anymore, or the fact that they've become bored with their specific sex life and their specific relationship, doesn't really mean anything for all the strangers she's about to meet. She's a 10 to someone else. The way she is brand new to some other dude. And what if he's like bigger than you, better than you, richer than you? Where's the insecurity with these people? Why are y'all so confident? Frankly, I'm just jealous of the confidence you guys have. I feel like another popular theme of these kinds of posts are people trying to avoid divorce. Man, I really hate this party. Same, maybe instead of just leaving, we should invite more people into this terrible party. Like, open relationships are a completely valid relationship dynamic. Its existence is valid, but it does seem like an interesting remedy for divorce.
My husband made me choose between an open marriage or the end of our marriage. Now, I'm letting him choose to open the door or leave and never come back in my life again.
Especially if you have like a lot of unresolved issues in the marriage. Like, why don't we just close this door? But also, listen, I've never been to divorce court, so maybe it's just more like a paperwork thing. And I mean, I hate filling out paperwork, so sure, I can hear that. Maybe they're just like, I'd rather take my chances with opening up this marriage than filling out this paperwork. There's few things in this life worse than like filling out forms. I think, of course, there are contexts that an open marriage could work. It should probably be something that both of you are interested in and both of you would have wanted to do even if everything was great. I feel like it's gotta be in ya, you know, like that dog. But like randomly throwing it into a marriage that's like already on the rocks, I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing that you do to fix something. It actually seems like the kind of thing you should probably only do if you're on really, really solid rock. Ooh, another theme that I noticed was coming back from vacation and then randomly wanting an open marriage.
After coming back from a long girls' trip, my fiancée asked for an open relationship because her friends, who are in open relationships, are super happy. I immediately kicked her out, and now she is begging me to take her back.
I want to open my marriage. I love too how many of them break the fourth wall and ask us our opinion.
I'm just lost. So, what do you guys think?
Please, this is your life. And also, it's like impossible to know or like give good advice. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened on vacation. I don't know if her new coworker has a fresh cut and a brand new rose tattoo. I can't help you here. I don't know the whole story. But it does kind of make you wonder though, like what's happening on these vacations? And also, was this a cruise? Because that changes everything. Because I get way too seasick to ever go on a cruise or even have the desire to go on a cruise. But to the best of my knowledge, aren't cruises for Gen X swingers? Or did I miss something? I heard it was a bunch of like 50 to 80-year-olds hoeing. And I mean, to be fair, they're all pretty happy. So maybe it was your fault for not joining the vacation. I also think another big part of the dynamic actually working is that I don't think you should have to convince the other person to do it. I feel like if it's not something that comes up early as something you both have like a desire to do, a mutual kink, or a mutual relationship style you both like, or there's not like a really emphatic yes the first time you brought it up, if you gotta convince them, hypnotize them even, then maybe no. And the final branch of this kind of content that I want to talk about is the ones that actually are kind of sad. The husbands that, I can't lie, break my heart a little. And those are the people who go into this knowing that these things don't have a super high success rate.
You have heard this all before, but I regret convincing my wife to open our marriage. She refuses to close it back up, so my options are deal with it or divorce.
People who've read other people's open marriage Reddit stories and still do it. These stories have been online for so long that it goes without saying that millennial and Gen Z aged people would have probably seen a lot of these stories on Reddit and still did it. Imagine having 15 years worth of archived stories about why this situation doesn't work and thinking that you're the exception. You're gonna be that one exception to the rule, and they aren't. They never are. Things don't work out, and it is deeply sad. If anything, way sadder. Because at least the other people back in the day didn't have the resources we have to know that they were making a stupid decision. You know.
Y'all don't want to hear me, you just want to dance.
Man, last time my friend said she used this curling iron, it set her entire house on fire. Anyways, I need to curl my hair, so... So what was the point of this video and what is the wrap up? Don't fall into the trap of believing that the grass is always greener on the other side. It's sand over there, and it's actually full of crabs. And that, my friends, is the video. Me and the most successful throuple that you've ever seen are grateful that you watched. Honestly, agree with me in the comments. Tell me how you feel about this type of video, because I love them. And I kind of wish I didn't. They are just so unbelievably funny, and there's something bizarrely comforting about hearing them too. It's kind of like comfort content in the way that true crime is comfort content, in that it really shouldn't be. So please do let me know how you feel about it down below. And of course, if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.